Hello. Today I'm talking to you about bilateral deadlifting variations. Basically, that fancy word bilateral just means if you draw a line down the center of your body and you're looking straight on at yourself, that you're symmetrical from side to side. It's a lot like squats when you start off with your sumo deadlifts. So the dumbbell is going to be straight down in between your feet. You don't want it too far in front of you or too far behind you. You're just going to reach down, squat down to it, keep your back and spine neutral. Pick it up, stand up, squeeze your butt forward, and then push your butt back when you come back down. Basically, the main difference between a deadlift and a squat is your range of motion is going to be shorter on the way down and up through your hips and knees. And you're going to be slightly, what's the word I'm looking for? Deviated towards the hips when you're squatting up and down. So you're going to get a little bit more posterior hip development, which just means the backside of your hips into your glutes and your high hamstrings. Those are going to get more developed from doing these kinds of exercises. So our next variation after the sumo deadlifts, once you get pretty good at that, we're going to be doing trap bar deadlift from the high handles. Basically, the high handles give you a little bit shorter range of motion as you're going up and down, so you don't have to squat down as deeply to pick up the bar. You can see from the side here, we're maintaining a neutral spine as we're moving up and down. Trap bar deadlifts typically look a little bit more like squats because you're standing inside of the bar and the weight of the bar is displaced equally and neutrally around you. So you're able to squat quite a bit deeper and maintain more of a squatting posture if we're just talking about like joint angles and things like that. But just like squatting, deadlifting, you're going to make even foot pressure in your feet, slightly deviated towards the back of the foot. So slight heel pressure over the toe pressure. Weight is towards the outsides of the feet, pushing your knees apart the entire time. Keep a strong neutral spine and stand up straight, squeeze everything at the top. It's pretty straightforward. There's not a ton of skill involved when we're talking about like early or beginner to intermediate lifters. Once you get all of the joint angles in line, then you pretty much can grab and go. Things get a little bit more difficult once you start getting really strong, doing things like double body weight on your squats or even 1.5 times your body weight, and you have to get a little bit more particular with how you're setting up, what kind of shoes you're wearing, what kind of clothing you're wearing, and then basically everything around your workout becomes a little bit more significant too. Unless, of course, you're a freak and you just can walk in and squat double body weight, deadlift 2.5 times your body weight, that kind of thing. But those are pretty rare. Barbell sumo deadlifts. So basically this is allowing you to keep a more upright posture as you're moving up and down. You can see here, if you watch the bar closely, it sort of drifts away from my feet as I'm standing up with it. That's actually a technique error, so don't let the bar drift away from you. Basically, when the weight gets really heavy, you're not going to be getting away with that. So, I mean, this is just kind of a warm-up weight for me. So I'm kind of getting away with it, but make sure that once the weight gets heavier, if you're struggling to get it off the ground or get it past your knees, make sure the bar's not drifting away from you. Next up, we have the conventional deadlift. So the reason that this is kind of a later progression than the sumo deadlift is that your posture is much more forward from the side. So I'm going to have a steeper and more significant hip angle as I'm trying to pick up this bar, which places more stress on my lower back and means that my lower back needs to be that much stronger before I start using this variation. And the sumo deadlift is a good stepping stone to get to that point. So these are sort of our basic deadlifting variations. If you can master those, honestly, you can use those variations for the rest of your life. So get good at them, and then we'll talk about it if you have any questions. Please like and subscribe to this video. If you disliked, let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.